What is going on, you guys? MissedThePart here, back again with another video. We are going to be talking about the missed opportunity, the Amazing Spider-Man series. What the heck happened to this series? Like, this was so hyped up. I remember back in 2014 when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. It was probably going to be one of the greatest movies of all time. We were all hyped for it. You know, it was nuts. There was just this really weird feeling of electricity because, like, we all knew that the MCU was building up and we didn't know what was going to be going down with the Avengers and possibly Spider-Man and all these different leaks and apparently Venom and all this stuff. Biggest missed opportunity I've ever seen in Spider-Man. It was just because Andrew Garfield, like, it all fell apart. We all know what happened. Andrew Garfield quit. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was really bad. I really didn't like the movie. You know, when I first saw it, I was like, it's okay, it's not good. It's all right. And then later on I watched it again and I was like, this is really bad. This is trash. I really didn't like the movie, and that's just my opinion personally. You know, there's probably people out there that really enjoy the movie, and you know that they can say whatever they want, but this whole series of Sinister Six, all these spin-off movies like Venom and Spider-Man going to the Avengers, like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, it all came crumbling apart. You know, we all thought this stuff was going to be happening, and then all of a sudden Andrew Garfield got fired, and then Sony made a deal with Marvel Studios, and then Spider-Man was in the MCU, and then they recasted him, and Andrew Garfield didn't even know that he was like really recasted, and then they got Tom Holland, and the whole story is just a complete mess. But I think we can all say that The Amazing Spider-Man had the biggest potential I've ever seen in cinema, and it came crumbling down within like a year and a half, and it got so much backlash, and just people hated the movie. Like, they just hated how Electro was dealt with. They threw in a ton of villains like Rhino, and they killed off Gwen, and Green Goblin was there, and it was like Norman Osborn, and they were just doing way too much. But I think it was because the studio was just so hyped for this Spider-Man. Like, they were like we're gonna like do everything. Like, they were going to do like a Green Goblin thing with the Sinister Six, and there was going to be this whole spin-off movie with like Venom, and all these plans were going to be done, and then it just didn't happen, and Sony just looked and they were like, wow, like, it's completely ruined. And they were right. Like, it was completely ruined. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 didn't happen, and a lot of people still want that, but most likely I don't think The Amazing Spider-Man 3 will happen unless it's a Spider-Verse movie. Then I could see it happening. But I mean, like, it was just a big opportunity that Andrew Garfield had, and a lot of fans could have seen some big movies happening like Sinister Six. We could have got them earlier, and you know, they were teasing like Vulture, they teased Doc Ock, and when you see that like shadow figure man walk in the room, you see pretty much all of the Sinister Six weapons and different armory all in that one room. And then you're like, kind of like, whoa, like, what are they trying to do here? Like, are they setting up this whole thing? And people were still hyped after The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, you know, with the backlash, people were like, you know, this movie wasn't that good, and people were hating on it, but there was still opportunity, and then it got completely shut down and missed. And that's where like Marvel Studios came in, and Kevin Feige, and that's where they made the deal. But even before then, like, I remember people making videos about like Venom being spotted in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we all know that. And you know, there was just all this build-up between the whole series, and you know, we had a reboot, so it was like, could this be the definitive Spider-Man? But then people pointed out that they didn't like Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker, and more people just started hating on it, and it was just, it crumbled completely. And it's really sad to see that the entire Amazing Spider-Man series fell apart within like a year and a half, not even. Like, it was dead. Like, after 2014, the video game sucked, the movie sucked, and people just didn't like it. So that's probably why they ended up changing it. And I mean, like, if they would have stayed with The Amazing Spider-Man, would it have been good? I don't know. Like, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, like, if I would have seen the script and maybe read it over, you know, like, who knows if it would be good or not. But it just makes you wonder, like what would have happened if it did happen, and like the missed opportunity, like, why was it missed? And I think it was just because the backlash, and just a lot of people just didn't really like the movie, so then Andrew Garfield quit. But it just makes you wonder, like why did all this have to happen? You know, there was so much on the drawing board, and then all of it got scrapped. Like a Craven movie, all this stuff with like Black Cat, and then, you know, like Green Goblin's head being severed, and then Venom, because like you could see like there was a leak and it had like the symbiote in a tube. Really weird stuff. So like what's your thoughts on the biggest Spider-Man missed opportunity? Because I believe this is the one. Like, this is the biggest out of everything that we've gotten. You know, you could say Spider-Man 4 is the biggest missed opportunity, but like this series was like this whole series was going to bring out like Sinister Six. They were bringing out everything, and then it was like, no. So, you know, like you can say that it was just Spider-Man 4. Like, that's a totally different thing. That was just one movie, but there was like things set up in place that were going to happen, and then none of it happened. And, you know, will we get those movies in the future? Who knows? But anyways, as always, what's your thoughts about this whole situation that happened a long time ago? Let me know in the comments down below, and tell me what your missed opportunity Spider-Man stuff is. Like, do you think there's a bigger one out there? Let me know. But as always, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on so you and your friends can stay all up to date with the latest content. Anyways, we